I've had people say that. You have no breast and you can't get pregnant. You can't give birth. So technically you're a man now. These breasts don't define me. This isn't what makes me a woman.
In 2004, at just 26 years old, Shay was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer.
Nothing can prepare you for cancer. Even if you had a family history, breast cancer wasn't on my radar because from all I know, you can't get breast cancer until you're 40. In my mind, you can't because you don't get a mammogram until you're 40. So how would you get breast cancer, prior to then? And at the time, the stats were breast cancer was the number 1 killing cancer of women 15 to 55. I never knew that information. And it's like, why aren't we, preaching this more to our young women? And then radiation, radiation is every day for 7 weeks. I needed age-appropriate support, and it wasn't available.
In 2011, Shay founded her own non-profit cancer support charity, Shay Sharpe's Pink Wishes.
I grant wishes to young women who've been diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. We're educating, advocating, supporting, mentoring other young women who feel lost, who have questions, who needed that same age-appropriate support that I needed that wasn't there.
10 years after her first diagnosis, Shay's cancer returned.
It was cancer again. Whereas though the first time I went through numerous surgeries to, have implants and preserve what looked like breasts, But after the cancer came back, I had both breasts removed. It's hard to embrace your femininity with so many negative comments and negative people. And I was like, I'm just tired. These breasts don't define me. This isn't what makes me a woman.
Through her organisation, Shay met Shanika, who also survived 2 rounds of cancer.
Shanika just so happened, found out lives a block away from me, but we met in New Orleans. Not even we met. I sat on a panel and she remembered me from New Orleans.
November of 2016, when my second recurrence happened, because I was just so traumatized and knowing that she had been through it, and I see that, she had been doing well. So I just felt like I needed to reach out to her and connect with her. Unfortunately, we got close due to this nasty cancer thing, but something good, came out of it.
Even at the cancer, doing cancer, she is gorgeous. I'm picking her up and we're late because she's putting on makeup. I love that because it came back to embracing that, loving yourself at the breast cancer. I'm going through this. Yes, I'm going through chemo. Yes, I'm going through whatever. But she still wanted to be sexy for her husband. She still wanted to be pretty for herself. We're not supposed to have this. This wasn't supposed to be our disease or whatever. And we don't want to lay around just be sick and old and ugly. We want to be cute, even in the midst of all of this.
As she learned to love her body again after her second round of breast cancer, Shay started using modelling to help her embrace her scars and to inspire other survivors to do the same.
I have a plethora of topless photos online. Even in 2014, when I came up with the decision to just remain flat, the night before my surgery, I called a guy that I would deal with off and on for years. And I said, would you still sleep with me? I don't have no boobs. He like, sure will. I'm like, all right. He's like, all right, touch it. And I just hung up, And in that moment, even with him just being silly and, I don't think he knew the pat on the back that was for me of, hey, it's okay. I'm comfortable being flat-chested. I don't mind it. People say, well, how do you find clothes to conceal it? There's no concealing it, and it just is. It's just that, and I'm comfortable with it. I know if I would have never been diagnosed with breast cancer, I would have never started Shay Sharpe's Pink Wishes. I would have never had the opportunity to, bless these women, and I felt like that thing had to happen. I had no personal relation to it, versus now it being my whole life.